holding makeup products for thumbnails is ridiculous, but it is also a skill that I have not quite perfected, obviously. Does this look natural? This is just how I hold my stuff. Hey you guys, okay. We have so much new stuff to play with today, it's insane. I did my foundation, I did my eyes, but I have a lot of stuff that I'm actually gonna try, like on my face. I don't have any bronzer, I just have on foundation. So, and a few other things, but we're gonna kind of like play with it as we go and try it. New things from Hourglass, new things from Nars, new things from Marc Jacobs, some Glamglow. This is not, I put it literally in a grocery bag to bring it in here. So this is not a good thumbnail. Could you imagine? Nobody would watch. Let me gather myself and get all of this out. What I like to do when I do videos like this is get a group of things that I am genuinely excited about. That's why you don't see me do these kind of like mail day videos a lot. And I say that because I am the type of person that really only likes to show things that I like. I'm not saying I don't show bad things. I'm saying if something's hyped up to the point where I know you guys might buy it, I've said this so many times, or where like I was really interested in it and it really disappointed me, or something that I can't figure out, of course I'm gonna like tell you. Some of this is good and bad, so we'll kind of go through that. But what I mean is, I really only show things whether ultimately I think they're good or bad, that I am excited to show. You know what I mean? Things that I'm interested in. And doing what I do, I get a lot of things sent to me here and there from either like companies themselves, their PR companies, and basically there's no strings attached. That's how I do it. I don't, of course the garbage truck's coming down the street. He'll be back. It never fails. We live on such a quiet street, and then anytime I start to film, it's like lawns and okay, whatever. Yeah, I don't do anything like that where I'm like, even if I do a sponsored video with a company that's like paying me to do something, it's never review this positively. Heck no. Like, I am so stubborn, I'd be like, no, I'm not talking to you anymore. Like, it just offends me. And I did that with when I very first started, I don't want to say like burned bridges. I mean, it's not even a big deal. It's like companies I don't even hear about or talk about anymore. But they were like companies that would say, you have to say this, you have to say that. And I'm like, no, bye. So anytime I work with a company, it's like, honestly, what I would just do anyways. And I'm like, you know, thank you for working with me. But this kind of stuff, these products that I'm sent, absolutely no strings attached. And that's why a lot of times I don't even talk about them, because a lot of things I'm just not interested in talking about. So, oh my gosh, I am really thrilled. And I have been using a lot of this stuff lately. And I knew I would talk about it. I knew I was going to show it. But what I like to do really with these kind of videos, and a Smashbox thing. What I really like to do though is just talk as I go. Urban Decay too. I'm telling you guys. But the thing is, with these kind of videos, you can end up with so much that it's not even fun. And I've done that in the past where I look back at some of these like mailbox videos and I'm like, this isn't even interesting. Like, a lot of people watch it, but I'm like, this isn't even that interesting, because I can tell I'm just like not that into it. So, and that's why I always say, oh, I'm overwhelmed, there's a lot. So what I've decided to do, instead of just talking about like random weird stuff, like I don't feel like I have to talk about anything, obviously. Here comes a truck. Can you even hear that? Of course you can. It's like louder than a space shuttle. I'm just like really sensitive about outside sounds. Brad says like I'm gonna be the angry old lady down the street that like yells at kids, but really no, that's not how I am. But I get so irritated. Like, I couldn't live anywhere where there were a lot of stuff going on. I get really kind of irritated. Okay, anywho, this is my, these are just the best t-shirts of all time. I could just like get these in every color, and I pretty much do. I just love them so much. They're just very soft. They're just the perfect t-shirts. This is an old initial necklace that I got a while back from Baba Bar that I really, really love. This is my, I'd say like old again, but I really love this necklace so much. It's by L&M. It's her choker chain. You can adjust it like as short as you want it, which is really cool. But I've always really loved this necklace. You guys probably have seen me wear this a lot over the years. But it's just a perfect necklace. It's just like when you're wearing something like this that's just very kind of sweet and plain, it's just very edgy, but at the same time it just balances it out. I've always said that when I do videos about style or anything. It's like if you want to kind of balance something out or layer something really well to keep it from looking like too costumey, like I wouldn't wear, I mean I could, that'd be cool, but like tons of just thick chains, I'd look like I was wearing a costume, like what's she doing today? But if you kind of mix like something really sweet with something a little edgy, or like when I wear this, put it on with like a sweet little, you know, scrolly pendant that's sweet, you know, it just kind of balances it out and it's cute. And then my pearl earrings, which I haven't been wearing a lot lately, but I love these so much. And then my bracelets, I have my David Yurman, and then this Hermes cuff. So let's get into all of this. Oh my gosh, you guys. So like I said, I'm going to talk about things, I'm going to try things on. I'm probably going to end up with like 10,000 layers of makeup on my face, but we're just going to go for it. Most of the times when things are sent, I don't, and this is probably like 10% of things that I've even, if that, like gotten lately. I don't feel the need to talk about everything, but you guys, this is so exciting. Okay, so let's talk about, I'm trying to think what I'm going to use on my face first. Let's talk about this Marc Jacobs stuff first. Okay, so the coconut stuff by Marc Jacobs. We've all seen the coconut face primer. Now they have a coconut highlighter and a coconut bronzer. And this new brush, which I've been using with the bronzer. But then I busted out my old one, you know, the old bronze brush. It's pretty much the same shape. This one has a little bit of a different, like kind of slicker bristles. It's just a new one, I guess, they came out with to go with this. But it's called the same thing. It's called the bronze brush, but I like the white. I wish more brushes need to be white. I really like the white. Go figure. I'm obsessed. But yeah, really thin. So I've talked about this before when it first came out, this coconut stuff, the coconut face primer, and honestly it is a little sticky. It does feel like a moisturizer, but I can understand and appreciate it because if you use a moisturizer that's very like slick or very like it sinks in, I mean, this would be good because I have gotten used to using my Clinique Moisture Surge Intense, which leaves your skin really velvety, kind of like makes your foundation go on like really pretty and dewy. And this, if you had a moisturizer, not like that, that's very like sinks in, this would be good because it like really makes your skin feel hydrated. Nothing's gonna like catch on or anything. I used it the other day over my moisturizer and it was a little intense. Like that's why I use that moisturizer, because it's just kind of like a two-in-one thing. But what I've been doing with this, like I said, I already used my foundation, so I would, you know, ideally you do this before. Put a little bit in your hand. I really like the way this stuff smells. It's very thin, but it leaves, it's unlike any other primer I've ever used. And the area that I have the worst time with is right here. So I would have already used my moisturizer and stuff, but I put a little bit right there, like all right here too. And that way, like your stuff that goes on is gonna be like really smooth. Now, is that worth it to buy for that? No, but I have it and I really like using it like that. It's a little, I think when I first reviewed it, I was like, it's kind of greasy, and it is, like when you think about a primer, but it is just kind of slippery. It feels honestly like the moisturizer that I use, so not bad. I'll talk about this in a little bit. It's very metallic, you guys. It's a beautiful highlighter, and honestly, the amount that you need is so tiny because it is so intense. Like that Paraco No Highlighter, this stuff, which I love, I pile this up and it's very thin, it's very kind of serumy. This is like thick, like you need like, it's one of those things like you kind of have to just play with the pump. Like you can't even, you just see like the tiniest bit, and this will do your whole face. Like it's insane. And I'll go ahead and do that, even though usually I do my highlighter last, but like look, it's just hold on, it's just really bright, but it's very pretty. So the less I think is more with this. I mean, you could really go nuts with it, but what I do like about it is the tone. I'll put more on later, but I'm kind of just scared, you know, because I've got so much other stuff to put on, and I usually do that last. Smells again like coconut, like the other stuff. Okay, so ideally that's not the order I would do that, but I do want to talk about this bronzer. So you guys, this is called 104 Tantastic, and it's the Omega Bronze, which I believe is just the name of their bronzers in general. I think they have one like this in black, but it's white, I guess, for their whole coconut line. And this is called Coconut Perfect Tan, and it is limited edition, and it's a really good mirror for one, but it's huge. But the thing that I love about it is ideal, the ideal tone for bronzer. Would work with so many different skin tones, from the super pale like me to if you had a darker skin tone, it would be perfect. And I like that their stuff is pretty universal. Like this works so well with me because it's not overly gold, but it has that pretty like golden nude effect. It's not like white, so I think a lot of different skin tones can use it. but it's pretty, you know what I mean? So that's cool. So I would definitely recommend that, but I don't even know how you'd use all of it. I think if you mixed it in with your foundation, if you liked that kind of a glowy look, although you need just a tiny bit. So you're really getting a lot for your money there. But this tone is perfect. It's like a brownish tone. It's not super orangey, and it has a bit of like a reddish hint to it. And it's very like just smooth. I'll be honest with you, I use my Chanel bronzer all the time. I mean, see, it's just very like clean feeling. It doesn't feel powdery. And even though you can't see any like heavy shimmer to it or anything, and it's not for sure, it's not a really flat, chalky matte bronzer. Do you know what I mean? Those don't look natural. I think a bronzer has to have a little bit of a satiny appearance to it for it to look pretty. And I don't even hate a shimmer in a bronzer. I really don't, as long as it's not like flecky glitter or one that kind of like gets super like painty and metallic looking, which some of these next things do. Now I'm gonna try that bronzer on in a minute, but I'm wanting to kind of compare it to a couple of these. So Hourglass, you guys. So Hourglass came out with those bronzers a long time ago. They had that's the new one. They have two new ones. That's kind of where I'm going with this. They had the Luminous and the Radiant. Of course, they grabbed both of the wrong ones. You guys remember I used the Luminous one a lot. Looks like that. Really pretty. So this is the Radiant and this is the Luminous. The Luminous one's a little lighter, the Radiant one's a little darker. If you had a darker skin tone, I could see where maybe that wouldn't work. When I reviewed these a long time ago, I remember this is the Luminous, this is the Radiant. So this is the one that I like to wear, this is the Radiant one that's a little darker. When I reviewed these a long time ago, I remember saying like the Radiant one is much more orange. The Luminous one is really pretty. It does have that bit of a sheen to it, not a chunky sparkle to it like some of their things, but it's just got that sheen. Okay, so and I wore that a lot. I really loved it. They came out with another one called Diffused Bronze Light, and this one is going to be a little more brown. Now this one, I would say, this one is good for, I would say like if you do have darker skin tones, but honestly like it's kind of that same tone as the Marc Jacobs. It has a bit of like a brownish red to it, you know what I mean? Which is what I like in a bronzer. And I could probably, it gives you more of like a natural sun-kissed glow rather than looking orange, but it's, tones just work so different with everybody. But this is the one I was so excited about. They have one that doesn't really have any of that heavy, you know, sheen to it at all, and this one's called Nude Bronze Light. You guys, this is like my new favorite. I love it so much. And what I love about this is that, again, it's that perfect tone. It obviously looks much more matte, but the tone is very, I'm just showing you this so you can see the tone. The tone is very like brown, and it goes on just very clean feeling. It's not like, let me show you. Okay, so I'm just gonna put this on. Now, what I love about Hourglass powders and that Marc Jacobs powder is that they're not powdery. I love that this, even though it says, and a lot of people are gonna say, oh, it's more matte or whatever than the other ones, in comparison, sure, it's not as shimmery and it doesn't have as much of a sheen, but it still has that beautiful, like, glow that, do I have, yeah, like, legit have that highlighter smudged on my face. It has that glow. The powder itself is not powdery. It has that kind of like pretty glow to it. It's just really pretty and it looks like real skin. And when I wore this, I just really, really loved it. So I'm gonna use this one today actually. And you can see like, I'm not having to be super careful with it. Like it goes on, but it's just beautiful. Like it's not, what am I trying to say? Like you don't have to be too careful with it, think like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna look insane. You know, like I can really kind of, I'm not like piling it on because I feel like it's a very like thin bronzer. You know what I mean? I don't know how to describe it, but you know some powders just go on like so thin and nice. But then it still has that pretty like skin-like finish. I think a lot of times matte bronzers are the most unnatural ones you can possibly use. But it just like kind of sinks into your skin. It's not like a really powdery matte bronzer, which like just sits on top of your skin. This, I feel like really goes into your skin. Now, a lot of times I go for my Chanel Bronze Universal because it's kind of like a dry cream product and I feel better about putting like, if I'm gonna do like a liquid blush, which I've been really into that Bobbi Brown cream blush lately, the new Nars liquid blushes, which I'm gonna show, that I showed briefly in one of my recent videos. I just feel like it goes on better sometimes with a product that's really sunken into your skin, and a lot of times powders don't. They just kind of sit there. But I feel like this one, I know the like powder cream police is gonna say you can't put a cream on top of a powder. You totally can under certain circumstances if it's like buffed into your skin and you're not like slathering the cream on. If I'm just gonna dab a little bit of a cream blush, I'll be fine. So let me just kind of swatch them all because, you know, this is the Luminous Bronze, which is the one that I always liked to use. This is the Radiant one, which is a little darker. I think is a little orangey. This is, what is it, Diffused Bronze Light. This is the new one that is a little darker, a little more brown than the Radiant. And then my personal favorite, the Nude Bronze Light, which right there. And okay, you see how it's like, honestly, compared to these, like these are so like so much, and I did the same exact thing. It's kind of like a very fine powder that just gives you a nice glow without looking like you've painted on a bronzer. So while it doesn't look like it swatches super great, when I put it on, you guys saw that it applied really pretty, hopefully. The Marc Jacobs. This one you have to be a little more careful with. It is very dark. So like you saw, and you see I've been using this brush with that bronzer. You see, you probably thought like, oh, there's not much on there. It's really just, I don't know what it is. It's just that bronzer just goes onto your skin. It doesn't like waste, or it's just hard to explain. Like, it's not really powdery. This one you have to be careful with. So like I barely touch it, and you can see a little bit more gets on there. Where should I put this? I don't want to go too insane with it. I'll just put kind of like around my forehead. But it's honestly the same tone as that one, but a little more like, with a little more payoff. This one does smell like coconut. And I've kind of been using these evenly, you know? I mean, it's like I've kind of been trying both of them. And I don't really know what my favorite is. I love both of them, but something about the Hourglass one I'm just a little more drawn to, but I really love both of them. So if you are a bronzer fanatic, if you love the original Hourglass bronzers, try the new ones. I really think that both of them are good, but the diffused one, this one that looks a little more, this one that has a little bit more of the, like when you use it, it kind of swirls together, but it has like that kind of shimmery part to it. I don't know, it's just a little too shimmery for me. I like the other ones that are just have a pretty glow to them. And the Hourglass blushes. These are the ambient strobe lighting blushes. Now, I believe they had the original ones that were just the ambient blushes. I'll have to get mine out and look at that again. But this one exists, the Incandescent Electra. And what these are is they're a little different from the original ones in that they have more of like the strobing shimmer to them. This one's really pretty, but it is a lot. You see, I mean, it's almost not even blushy, but when you put it on, it looks blushy. Like, it looks very like pink and pretty. Like, I used this one the other day. It was really pretty, but you just can't use much because a lot of times I don't like that really. I like it on top of my cheeks, that glowy effect, but sometimes like right there, it's just too much. It just doesn't look super flattering. But they have 3 new shades. This is the Iridescent Flash, which this one has, I don't know if it's just mine, but mine has a lot of shimmer to it. But the dark part is pretty and like, it's very like berry-ish. Let me swatch this other one here. See, that one's like a little lighter. So the one I just did was the Incandescent Electra, which is the lighter one, which already exists, like a cool peach. And the Iridescent Flash, which I would say is like the darkest, it's kind of like a magenta. This one, the Brilliant Nude, I wore this one the other day, and I really, really felt very glowy. But you see, I mean, it is. It's like, it shows, the color shows, but that one is a little bit, kind of like a honey, like an amberish color. And then, did I already show this one? No, this one's kind of similar to the other one. It's kind of similar to the other one. This one's a little more like purpley lilac. This is the Euphoric Fusion. And I think out of all of them, this one's actually my favorite. So this one looks like that. And I would say, like, when I look at all of them, this one is darker. This one you may think is darker because the color looks darker, but when I put it on, I really like kind of a lilac-y blush sometimes. So I think out of all of them, I really like the Euphoric Fusion. Although, Like I said, these are very, I don't know if you can just tell by looking at my fingers, but you see that sheen? They have a lot of sheen to them. Not like a sparkly, flecky strobiness like their strobe powders, which I do really like. This is mine. That's the incandescent strobe light. They're beautiful, and like I said, they're just very fine and nice. And I really like this color, I really do. But it has tiny little flecky, shimmery, glittery bits. Can't really see it. I mean, it's just, there's kind of nothing to it. It's just very shimmery when you put it on your skin. It's like little twinkles. So these don't have that. I just don't like a lot of that on my cheeks. Okay, so the Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion has been something that we have all used for years. I'm sure at some point we've tried it. The packaging, I think now, is just pretty much better than ever. My very favorite one is the one that's actually just the colorless anti-aging one. I think if you're gonna pick up the original one, just pick up the anti-aging one. It's just gonna be better, just all around better. It makes your eyeshadow look so pretty, and it's like an anti-aging treatment for your eyes, which is so good. If you're gonna do that every day, why not just do that? And I think that's so good, because a lot of eye creams you can't really pile on in that area anyways, so I think that's good. They have come out with a few new colors, and one that's really cool because I've been wearing this one a lot. 100%, I've got to read this so that I can say it right, but 100% of the purchase price goes to the Ultraviolet Edge Initiative, which is like their global campaign, like charity thing for women. It's their global initiative to empower women, which I think is really cool. I mean, anytime a company gives back 100% of something, I mean, that's really cool. And it's just in this color called Fix. And it's usually, if a company does that, I hate to say this, but sometimes it's like, okay, it's a color that I don't really like. I think this is probably, after the anti-aging one, which really is kind of colorless, so I don't know if that really counts. This is probably my favorite. So I remember a long time ago, like when they came out with Sin, which I have that one here too, they were a little chalky, you know, like the pigment of the actual color didn't really blend out. This one is like a dream. I love the packaging. Like when you get down, you can like squeeze it and really get every little bit. I love the applicator. You can just, but what's cool about this one, let me wipe off my hands because I'm like in bronzer, like palooza over here. But don't you guys think though, I think that bronzer is really, both of them, honestly. If I were to put on the Hourglass one, the new nude one, and I were to put on that coconut Marc Jacobs one, you probably couldn't tell the difference, but they're just so pretty. Like both of those are so nice. So this is the Fix, and this is the one that goes to their charity. But okay, so this is like it's just kind of like a flat, it doesn't have any shimmer to it, but it doesn't look like matte and gross, but it's just very like nice. It just evens out your eyelids without looking like paint or like too much, you know what I mean? And then, so I got Sin, and I remember a long time ago getting Sin when it first came out, and I'm actually wearing that today with just MAC Naked Lunch and a little bit of Antiqued in my crease. That's all I'm wearing. This is so good because I've actually been wearing this by itself. No, that's not the right one, that's Caffeine. Oh, which is cool too, but this one's Sin. I remember when I first got it a long time ago, like when it first came out years and years back, I liked it, but I just remember I didn't really go for it much because I felt like the color was just a little, I don't know, like I said, they just didn't blend, but I feel like they've improved them so much over the years, but look how pretty that is. It's just like a really nice, oh my gosh, and they just feel really silky and good. And then this one I was really excited about because back like when I would do a lot of like tutorials, and even now, like if I want something to look a little brighter or something, I like a good white, and we would all use that NYX Milk, you know. And now, I'm so excited. This one is called Freebase, which Urban Decay with your names. You make me so uncomfortable. Just call it something pretty. Oh, I put way too much on. So this is a white, and it is so pretty, and it's like a glowy white. It doesn't have like shimmer to it, but when you put it on, it doesn't look like flat, like gross paint either. It's just kind of perfect. So that's my thing. Like I don't want it to look like white solid paint, but this would be so cool because it has a little sheer, but it's enough to where it would like light up your eye, where you could put something else on top of it or your eyelid. And then Caffeine, which is really awesome because it's darker, and so if you have a darker skin tone, this would be pretty ideal. But what I like about this is I like to use darker colors like this, and then I don't have to use eyeshadow, you know, if you just want like kind of a smudged, like beautiful look. And this one doesn't have shimmer either, but it just has that pretty glow to it. I don't know how to explain it. I know I keep saying that about a lot of stuff, but I don't know. I feel like they have improved these so much, and I'm so excited about all of these. And I'm usually not even a huge fan of, and then they just set really nicely, but not where they won't, like they're grabby, you know what I mean? They're not sticky, but they're grabby, like where they'll grab your eyeshadow. But you guys, I don't know, I just can't get over how good they are. They're just really nice. So I've really been liking that. Love those. Those are like kind of the highlight, one of the highlights of this video. I mentioned these briefly in a video. I think Nars is kind of like revamping their orgasm line. I don't think their packaging's always looked like this. I didn't open this one because I have an orgasm blush already. I love Nars Orgasm. It's been a blush that I have used for years and years and really loved it. They have a lipstick, which I have had at some point over the years, and like I know I've had this lipstick before. But here's the thing, like it's beautiful and it's very summery. It's very like pinky peach. It's not really what I would reach for a lot. Something about Nars lipsticks, they have a very funky smell. It's not a strong smell. It's just like a small, like, it's like a weird like little herbal smell. Do you know what I mean? It's just their lipstick's a little funky. Like I just wish it smelled different. And I know maybe that's weird, but this is a pretty color. Although I really just kind of like nudie colors, but this is pretty. This is different, and this actually does work really well on me. And I'll just go ahead and put it on. Why not? Let me just wipe this off. Today though, I really do like this lip combo. It is I have MAC Dervish lip liner, which I really didn't need. I always, if I use like a lip product like this, like a liquid lipstick, I don't usually need lip liner, but it's the Bare Essentials Smooch, and then my Skinny Dip Jouer lip topper. So that's a really good combo. Okay, let me wipe. It's nice because it's like, it's just a really pretty pink, you know, but it's kind of like peachy. I mean, it's just typical. It's the orgasm color that you would think, a peachy peach, a pinky peach. But this is something that I didn't expect to like. Normally, I don't like a lot of liquidy products on my cheeks. I'm very picky about liquid or cream cheek products. Things sometimes break me out. These do not. I have been using these for a little while. These, I believe, release on June 1st, but whatever. Okay, so I'm gonna try a different color because in my Get Ready With Me video that I posted a while back, what was it, the Let's Catch Up, I think I posted like last week or a few weeks ago, I used the Orgasm one, and oh my gosh, you guys, so it's liquid blush, a little pump, beautiful, absolutely obsessed with it. The packaging's just perfect. This is the perfect color, you guys. So I showed that, it was beautiful, but I'm going to show you this other color. 4 colors. Let me try to organize them. So I would say the lightest would probably be this one, which is called Luster, which we'll use today. And then the Orgasm one. So this is the first one. This is Luster. This is Orgasm. Luster is a little more of like a tannish color, like a honey color, like a honey peachy color. This is more of a peachy pink. And then next is Torrid, and I believe these are colors of their existing line. So you see that's a little darker. These are the first 2. I don't know, maybe Orgasm is lighter. It's just different tones, I guess. And then Dolce Vita, which is a little more of a plummy, you know, color, a little darker. So let's try this one. Okay, so what I do with these, and let me wipe off my hands again, because I always like to use like really clean hands if I'm gonna do it this way. I have a beauty blender handy, and I'm just gonna use my fingers. So what I do is I just get a little bit, I put it right on my fingertips. This one is this is the Luster, and it looks very, see, it's a little orangey. So that's what I do. You see how I kind of like put it in this, like, you know, and I use the tiniest bit. And I use probably less than 1/4 of a pump, and you see how like crazy that was. Like I'm even having to wipe off some of it. So then I take my beauty blender, or your hands, whatever, and just blend it right in. You see how pretty that is? Now that one is a little orangey, like a little peachy orange, but it's okay. I think it's kind of fun and cute. The Orgasm one that's a little more pink, I really like better. And it sets, you know, it's not sticky, like it's already dry, like I don't feel like it's gonna, It's just a really nice product. I just really love it. Gosh, I really want to kind of like layer up some of the other ones now. You know what I might do? I mean, it's pretty much like on there, and I've done like the other stuff. I'm just gonna kind of wipe it just a touch. I mean, it's still there. And it's kind of like I said, it's like set, so I can't really, but you see it went just fine over my bronzer. I mean, no big deal, right? So Luster, Orgasm. Should I just show you that one because I know that one's really good. I feel like Torrid's going to be a little dark because watch what this one does. This one I know I did show in the video, but this is just my favorite one. I want to show you what it does. This is the Orgasm one. Like the slightest amount, you guys, like I barely even. So I just kind of rub it into like these 3 fingers and then put it. This is the most perfect color though, for real. So maybe this one's the lightest. I don't know. It's just, they're just different tones, like I said. And then, keep like having to reach. But do you see how pretty it is? I mean, it's not even blended in yet, and it's like really pretty. Probably have a little bit of the other one on the sponge, but they're actually really pretty mixed together. Kind of like wipe it. Like with your beauty blender, like with sponges, like I don't ever just be like, you know, just kind of little flicks, you know? That kind of like blends it really nicely. Isn't that cute? I just really think it's a really pretty color. Glamglow. Sometimes when they come out with things like that new moisturizer, like the matte glow, I didn't like that. You know, I'm not super excited about a lot of the new things that they come out with. Some of those nude though, the glowy moisturizers, the ones that I reviewed a while back, like when they first came out with the original, like the nude one, those are really pretty. And then they've since come out with different colors, but I have to be really careful what I put on my skin. That never broke me out or anything, but I just use certain moisturizers, so it's just not like, I don't use it every day, but it's really cool. Those glowy, like shimmery moisturizers they have. So this is their new Glamglow Glow Setter Makeup Setting Spray. And when I first saw this, I was like, let me just read the ingredients because I know it's gonna have weird oils in it. I tried one recently and it was a makeup setting spray I haven't really heard a lot about. You know, it wasn't something that like I felt the need to really talk about or anything, but it was just weird. It was very oily. A couple of them recently actually that I've tried have been very oily and strange. And I'm like, okay, is this the trend? So I get this and I'm thinking, okay, it's gonna be really oily. And it's not. It has really good ingredients. It says it hydrates, energizes, glows, makeup perfector, makeup refresher, blah, 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 makeup setting spray. It says it says it's a 3D soft mist, skin is sexy, skincare and makeup in one simple step, a sexy glow setting water that instantly perfects, finishes makeup for an instant sexy Hollywood glow. So yeah, nothing super gross in it. It has that same creamsicle smell of those moisturizers, those kind of like glowy moisturizers. It doesn't have any like shimmer to it or anything, which is cool. I have been using this thing for probably like a week and a half every single day, nothing crazy, but I feel like it's gonna last a really long time, and let me tell you why. The mist is so fine. Like, let me just see if you can you see? It's just one of those like, I don't want it to get on my camera. With a makeup setting spray, almost as important as the actual ingredients of the spray itself is the actual spray, and I think so many brands overlook that. I tried one a while back. It was a long time ago. I think it was by a really nice brand too, and it was this great makeup setting spray. It had all these good ingredients. The spray felt nice, but it was in one of these horrible spray bottles that just soaked your face like in one little spot. This one is what a makeup setting spray should be. The Urban Decay has really, really good misters too for the all-nighter. That's my other favorite one, but this one's becoming a favorite as well. So like you spray it and you don't even feel it, like it just feels like a cloud. Okay, so do I notice anything like a huge difference? I feel like my makeup looks nice throughout the day. Makeup setting sprays, I think there is definitely something to that. I'd say a lot of times like my magic little secret touch up, like making your makeup always look perfect, is just get a makeup setting spray. I just like to use the Evian one. I spray it on one of those Blatterazzi pads. You could spray it on a beauty blender and just dab, and it just sinks everything back together. But when you first do your makeup, I do think it's nice to put one of these on here because like if you've got powders, if you've got different things, it kind of just sets everything together. Do you know what I mean? So this is a surprising little thing that I really like. I guess me saying all that at the beginning about all the Glamglow stuff was me just kind of saying I didn't really expect to like it. I didn't know if it was going to be, you know, really oily or have something crazy in it, but it really doesn't. And it's cute. It's just, it looks kind of like very makeup artisty, very adorable. But I do think it actually works. I think it's really nice. So that is my little my most recent kind of mail day things that I've gotten in the mail that I'm really, really excited about. Hopefully you may have spied something that you liked or something that you were curious about that you want to try, or maybe something that you didn't even know about. A lot of these things I didn't really know about any of this stuff until I get it. So, but yeah, you guys, I just felt like sharing today, and I felt like kind of, you know, playing with some new makeup with you guys. I really hope that you liked it. I really enjoyed it. So I really hope that you guys liked it. Let me know below some upcoming videos that you want to see. I realized the other day when I was asking about maybe doing that shoe video, I was like, I haven't asked in a while. I used to always say, like, what kind of videos do you want to see? And then I would take a lot of my, you know, recommendations from you guys. But then, you know, I kind of get, over the last several years, like, I'm just kind of in a way of how I do things. And I don't, you know, I just kind of know what I want to post and stuff. But if there's anything specific that you want to see, or any like requests or anything, let me know, because that's some of my favorite ways to get ideas from videos, obviously from you guys, because I want to do things that you guys enjoy. So I really hope that you guys liked this one, and yeah, and that this was helpful if you guys were curious about any of this stuff. I love you so much. As always, thank you so much for spending this time with me, you guys, and I will talk to you all very, very soon. Bye, guys.